I want to talk to you guys about how, building muscle dominates the dating game. When a man walks into, some social scene or some social setting, if your body is, on point and it's right, from my experience, the attention comes, you're going to attract that female gaze. And it could be because you have broad shoulders or, you just have this confident swag about yourself. That energy is going to carry itself, and females, they're going to like what they're seeing. In other words, that can change the dating game for a lot of guys when you just simply step foot into the gym, focus on getting your physique right, and, then taking that best version of yourself and displaying it to the world. That makes a world of a difference. But, ultimately, if you are still, lacking on getting your body right and working on building the best version of yourself, then you're making dating 10 times hard. And I'm going to go over these things just from personal experience, right? So one of the things I want to go over starting off is just the science of attraction, because we have to take a step back and understand how is this being processed from a feminine point of view. Well, let's talk about testosterone and confidence. I'm big on trying to make sure you can, have a healthy level of testosterone. And studies have shown that women subconsciously are attracted to signs of strength. That could be from your beard to just your physique, your muscles, to even, tattoos on your body. It just shows that ruggedness. You're not a pretty boy. So I think the younger version love that look, but most women would say that they would like a guy that's, just has that rough, rugged look, not perfect, because it shows from their primal instincts, it shows a sign of protection and capabilities, right? And it shows the ability to have, a great sense of health and vitality. So the other thing is, symmetry and visual appeal. When it comes down to building lean muscle, it's important to focus on the illusion of the V-taper shape. And that's what I work on in the gym. One of the benefits about having a V-taper shape is that you can, if you're going down the phase of bulking, which I've done, you can have a little bit of a higher level of body fat and still look like, you're lean. And I'm sitting at 16.8% body fat, which I feel like is somewhat in the optimal range, where I still have the energy and the stamina in the bedroom, but I also give that illusion of being lean. So that V taper is going to enhance your physique as well as your facial symmetry, because when you have a well put together body and you're losing the body fat, you're also going to shed the fat around your face, which is going to give you that chisel, jawline. So you want to keep those things in mind. So moving into some of the real world examples that I've experienced, fitness, one of the things when you start to get your physique in order, you'll start to notice that, on social media, you'll have women that directly DM you. They, in spite of what you may have heard, women are very bold. They are very forthcoming when they see a man that's, putting in the work, putting in the grind. They will either, if you are posting up content on social media, they'll come into the comments and make, little sly or slick comments. If you're on IG, this is very prevalent. Women will come directly into your DMs and let you know exactly, like, hey, hard eyes. That's a common one. And so these are going to be just signs that, hey, you are becoming him. You are becoming that guy that's working on your physique, working on just how you appear in society. Another one that I've witnessed that's very common is, when you go into the grocery store. A lot of people think that, when you go into a grocery store that, there is no woman. Don't go to sleep low key. These places, Publix or whatever, have women that are also there not just to go shopping. These women are trying to strategically put themselves in places where they know that men that take care of themselves and that eat healthy will be at. And so you'll run into, women that may say, oh, excuse me, or bump into you, but to try to make it look like it was an accident. And essentially what they're doing is they're just trying to throw signs your way. They're trying to get your attention. And so what their body, what their primal instincts is telling them is that, this man is very attractive. I can see the silhouette from his, black V-neck tee. And, I like what I see. So she's trying to get your attention so that way, see where this goes. That's some of the signs that I've experienced, that I've seen. There's plenty more. But I want to go into how now your muscle starts to amplify your masculinity. With building on muscle, one of the things that I noticed was, I used to sit, when I go into a room, I used to be like this, right? And one of the things that I noticed is that, with my physique, I'm a little bit more laid back like this, how I move with my presence is very calm, is very flowing, it's very peaceful. I wasn't able to get this before when I didn't put on the muscle. And I think women love that calmness. I know the woman that I'm with right now, she loves the fact that even though, she may go high up in terms of how she feels about a certain topic with her emotions, she always just sees me like this. And I talk to her like this majority of the time. And it does something to her because she sees the presence. She sees, the arms and all this other stuff. And yet I'm like this, tell me how you feel, babe. Why do you feel this way? No need to stress out over this. We got this. And that right there shows a dominance in terms of being a masculine man and allowing your woman to be in her feminine energy. I've told you guys this before. It's important for a woman it's important to let her be in her feminine element, with her emotions, because when she has, or let me take a step back. Women seek, that excitement, and their emotions is a great sense of excitement. That's why a lot of females watch a lot of drama, right? And so if you give a woman enough time to be in her emotions, what this is doing in turn is working in your favor, because now you are allowing this woman to take herself on this emotional roller coaster ride, however she feels. And if you're remaining calm and stoic and very firm as a man, what happens is she's like, damn, I don't know what's going on, but it's like I'm up here, but now I'm down here. And all in all, this man has been like this, very smooth, very consistent. And this man is, I like that. It makes her feel like she's taken care of and very safe. So this is why I say, give a woman enough time to be in her feminine energy, her element. Let her do the majority of the work. You just sit back, work on building your muscles so that way you can amplify your masculinity. And a lot of that comes from just the physical presence. Because if I sat here right now, not saying a word, you still know that I'm still important, or I'm commanding respect just from my demeanor, just from my posture. So you want to understand that a muscular body automatically demands that respect, right? The respect is it serves as a prerequisite for attraction when dealing with women. So if you're going on these dating apps, guys, and you're not taking the time to work on your physique, So that way you can then go get really nice, photos done, because you have to present yourself in the best light. A lot of us, we're not photographers. We're not good at understanding the female gaze and taking and highlighting ourselves in the best light. So look, it is what it is. Do what you have to do to give yourself an advantage. Another thing, or point number 2, is, how muscle amplifies that masculinity is your voice and your energy. How I'm speaking right now, I'm owning my space. I'm at peace in my office, just, enjoying the ability to come in here and create in abundance and do the work that I love, and being able to share my experiences with you guys. So one of the things that the building up my physique has allowed me to do is, have a more smoother, calm voice. And another thing too is it builds up that testosterone, which with high testosterone, you're typically going to have a lower voice. And on top of that, you're also going to have an increase in energy. And that energy is vital when it comes down to speed to market, dating, managing. So a lot of people ask me, how do you manage being, working with your tech firm, as well as being a full-time father, as well as YouTube, and et cetera, being in a relationship, right? And also working out. A lot of that comes down to energy. Number 1, I make sure I get enough rest. Number 2, I make sure I'm taking the right supplements, right? Number 3, I'm making sure that, I'm focused on building up my body, meditating, doing the things that pour back into me, so that way I can produce and do great things, right? And take care of those that are up under me. And so as men build muscle, what I've realized, including myself, is that your testosterone is a byproduct. And that is a great thing, because you're going to be able to hit the gym hard. You're going to be able to, and this is why I say some of you guys need to get checked out, because if you have low energy and you don't have a lot of charisma, it could be to the fact that you don't have a higher level of testosterone. You don't want to go into a date and feel shy, feel like you can't close the deal. Because I'm going to be real, women will go home with you if she is madly attracted to you. They only put rules up for those that they're trying to see. They don't know, obviously they don't feel all the way in terms of being attracted, but they're still trying to fill you out, right? And if you mess up, then that's what closes the deal in terms of, okay, yeah, I'm not going to sleep with this guy. I'm not going to pursue him any further. I've already sized him up. But when you start to build your muscle, and as this amplifies your masculinity, your testosterone levels are going to increase, which naturally deepens your voice and increases your assertiveness, right, guys? Both of these things signal confidence. And when you're talking about confidence, you want to think about these things. And then the third thing in terms of this is just the masculine frame. Masculine frame is important. Women will test you. I've been in a 3-year relationship right now. Women will constantly test you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I drive an exotic car. I have money in the bank account. I love my life. I'm a full-time father, entrepreneur, and I still get tested. The only difference is I'm more so cool, calm, and collected, because I know my worth and I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know what my options are. And the only way a man can, maintain a masculine frame is he must know that he has options. And how do you know that you have options in life? Meaning that you have the possibility to exercise those options if things go sideways, if need be. How do you know that you have options? Or how do you obtain more options? You work on building your physique. Your physique is the gateway drug to making more money. Your physique is the gateway drug to learning new materials, which will then trickle down into making more money. Your physique is the gateway drug to opening up the doors to meeting other people that are doing things in life. So you see where I'm getting at. See, muscular men are less likely to be overlooked. I'm with my girl right now, and every time she sees the attention, it's blatantly obvious. Women like what they see, and they will throw signs and say how they feel when they see something that they like. That's because they feel like the world owes them something. Like men should just all of a sudden just throw themselves at them. But when they see a man that's, bam, 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 got his shit in order, they don't mind putting down that guard to be like, you know what, I'm trying to grab him. All right. So women often associate, when they see a muscular guy with a nice physique, they often associate this with, security, dominance, decisiveness, leadership, all of these things my woman has told me firsthand. So that's how I know. So I want you to keep those things in mind. All right. So as I'm coming to a close, I want you guys to really, when you're hopping onto these dating apps and you are trying to, say, here I am, here's why you should pick me, right? I want you to understand that when you build muscle, you now create this halo effect. And this halo effect trickles down into your social proof. See, because muscular men often have more confidence when it comes down to social circles, which can then elevate their status, better fashion and fit. Clothes, like I said, this shirt is from Target. I can make a $5 piece of clothing look like I paid $30 for it. All right. See, you no longer chase designer labels. You no longer care about what you have on. Don't get me wrong. It's important to look good in your clothes and make sure they're well kept. I don't care what the cost of it is. But what I'm trying to get you to realize is that no longer are you sitting here, trying to pay for Louis V when you can make, a black tee look good. Your energy and resilience is another thing when you start to get that halo effect. You have better stamina in the bedroom, in life, in business. Your mood improves. Like right now, I'm at this flow state where I just feel good. And this is a great example. I just sit here, talk off the dome, and share, highlighted experiences in my life. And so those endorphins, testosterone, all of those things help your mood to elevate, which makes you come across as more fun, more confident to females. All right, guys. So when you are getting into the gym, I need you guys, to take it serious. Take it serious because you are trying to build up this, main character, which is you. I'm not saying that muscle is the only thing that women notice. But in this world where most men are comfortable with being average, right? Muscle is kind of like that one up that you can use to leverage and stand out. So guys, continue to work on yourself, continue to improve, and watch how the results fall into your lap.